Hello and welcome to another ODNT Spotlight. In fact, I just noticed that I had the wrong logo up here because my son and I were doing our ODNT gaming channel the other day. There we go. So now I have my ODNT Spotlight logo up there. And today we have with us a great author. Her name is Kim Cormack, and she has created some interesting stories here. And starting with, she's got two books in her Children of Ankh series. Book 1 is Sweet Sleep, and book 2 is Enlightenment. And she's here today to talk mostly about a side series of a character that you meet in these first two books, Wild Thing. And we really like that cover. That's a great cover. So let's go ahead and let's switch on over to Kim and let's chat with her. So hey, Kim, welcome to ODNT Spotlight.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Excellent. And so what got you started into writing?
Well, honestly, I used to write, songs and stuff. I had a country demo back when I was like 26 years old, and demo tape.
Wow.
There's a CD too, but there was also, the tail end of demo tapes. There's aging myself completely. But I used to write songs all the time and then didn't for a long time. Like the odd poem here, there, something, or I'd try to get back into it, and kids were young, and I just, time went by, and then I had this dream, and I wrote it down the middle. Well, I texted, we had this conversation already on
right.
We
talked earlier. You wrote it out on a phone. You had one of those early phones with the keyboard sideways. You opened it up and started typing on your phone a whole book.
Yes, the whole book. I didn't find it until I broke the phone and then got a new phone. And then, you're checking out the phone going, what's left on here?
Right. And I don't want to leave anything behind.
The hell did I did this in the middle of the night one night. That was my first book.
That is probably the most interesting first novel story I've ever heard. Is you wrote it on a phone in the middle of the night, forgot completely, and stumbled across going, hey, look, I'm an author. Who knew?
I was like, oh, this is really touching. It was a really sappy children's book about being 4. It was really, I don't know. It was this beautiful, sweet, wonderful book. And then, I totally altered all that.
Well, we all grow as writers.
That's right. Get a little darker.
Some of us grow darker.
Some of us just take it way off the deep end and just keep going.
So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about your early series, your Enlightenment, Sweet Sleep and Enlightenment, your two books in your Ankh series. So go ahead and tell me a little bit about how those came about.
Well, with Sweet Sleep, I had the 2 children's books. I had Being 4 and then Shark Boots. And I was on a children's book vibe, and then I had this nightmare in the middle of the night. Basically, the nightmare was that beginning scene from like the time that she's walking up the pathway towards the front door, and the front door is cracked a little, like the lights are on upstairs. It's a stormy night. Just a teenage girl just got dropped off, her friend's dad. And she, feeling creeped out, she turns around, she looks, and his dad's pulled away. And so she's, you've got that kind of uncomfortable feeling, why is the door open?
All by myself outside, and the door's open to the house.
Door's like cracked open. Then she's like, well, see the light on upstairs. Well, maybe they're all hiding. They're going to jump out and surprise me. And they're a goofy family, right?
Right.
Well, she gets inside. The light's burnt out. And she leans up and she's twisted her ankle getting out of the car. And she's a runner. Like she's track and field for high school. She's that
no.
The girl that's totally the fitness person. She's like, she knows she's fast. She knows she's strong. And she goes to lean up against the wall, and her hand slips. And now the only light that she can get, because the light's burnt out, is this like stream of light coming through the trees, right, like through the window, or through the door, I mean. And she holds her hand up to it, and there's blood on her hand.
Oh.
And so then she hears she has a twin sister, and she hears her twin sister's voice, and she screams for her to run. And she just turns around and starts running. And you know the cliche where someone like slips, falls, gets turned around, and just...
Right, exactly.
The neighbor's house. Yeah. Well, this girl's cocky enough to truly believe that she can, like, it's not like she's really thinking straight, because sees the blood, the screaming, she's just running. Slips in the mud, it's been raining. She ends up in the backyard, running out through this trail in the backyard, this jogging trail. And it's like, one of those little, they're all over the place here on Vancouver Island. But so she's running through this trail. She really believes she's super fast, like she's track and field star. She is going to get away.
But she's twisted her ankle already.
That's right. She's not thinking straight, really. She's barefoot, right? But she makes it. Almost makes it out, and then I'm gonna put spoilers all over the place. The whole premise behind the series is that you have to die to be reborn as your partially immortal self. So this is what happens. He catches her. And the series is about her evolution to become just so much more than she started out as. And it's about all the plight, all the horrific things she has to go through to get there. And so that first book cuts off, the dream cut off right. There's this creepy song at the end, this lullaby. And that's where my dream ended.
Ooh.
That she's being like cradled by the person who murdered her. And he's singing this song.
Oh.
This like creepy song, but in her head, this song changes, and all of a sudden it's not him holding her, it's her mother.
Ooh.
And that's how that scene ends, where it's her mother that's cradling her. And then she just feels like she should go to sleep. And and that's where that dream ended. And of course, you wake up after something like that. You're writing that stuff down.
Right.
You're like the middle of the night. I'm writing that dream down. That is messed up. I didn't know where that came from. I was actually Googling murders and stuff like that, and like trying to figure out if it was something that, I don't know. It just felt unreal for me to have dreamed that. Like, it didn't.
Oh, you're wondering did I dream something that actually happened?
That's right. Yeah, I was kind of thinking, did I dream something that actually happened? And I searched. I really looked, thinking, that is crazy. Like, it's not like, someone would know, someone saw their mother holding them singing a song. But
right.
It was, the dream cut off there, and that whole book was written around that one dream. The whole book is from that. And I stopped writing children's books, and I started writing like dark paranormal fantasy.
Moved from the phone to a real computer with a full-size keyboard.
Oh. Using the real computer. Totally using a real computer now. I've upgraded my writing. But yeah, no, it's... I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing now. Like, I found the right genre. I mean, I do have, as I said earlier, some, dark, inappropriate children's books I'd like to write.
Well, one of the most popular children's books out there was, Go the F to Sleep.
Yeah.
So that right there just opened the field wide for everybody.
It's true.
If that book can sell hundreds of millions of copies, then hey, anything goes now.
I have like inappropriate zombie children's books that I like to write. This is what I like to do.
You know what? R.L. Stine with the Goosebumps series.
Oh.
Kids love horror. They're terrified of it, but they love it.
Well, I worked in daycare for like 16, 20 years in there. The same daycare for like 16 years. And older kids love ghost stories and stuff. They love them.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, like just 10-year-olds and that age, that just makes their whole day.
It gives them that
a little bit freaked out or
thrill.
do fun or do something with their imagination that's going to be a little bit scary,
Uh-huh.
So maybe I've just always been a little warped.
It's time to pass on that to everyone else.
Pass it on. I'll pass on my warped behavior. It's fine.
And you'll find that all the readers are just as warped as we are.
It's true. I can see this happening. Well, anybody who gets through the first chapter of Wild Thing, to keep going, like that first chapter is really dark. But Lexi's an emotional dragon, so she needs that. She embraces that darkness within her, but there's a purpose to her. Like she's basically like a partially immortal hitman for a clan, of immortals living on Earth.
Yeah, and you have to get through that first chapter.
That's right.
To get to that, because you have to see the motivation as to why she can become this immortal, half immortal assassin.
That's right.
And everything, because you don't just go finish your bowl of Cheerios and go, I think I'll be a half immortal assassin today.
I know.
You need to have something happen to you to go push you to that edge and then push you over it.
It has to be something epically dark to really take that on as your job. You're like, you have to have something really dark happen in your life to be like, you know what sounds like a good idea? Partially immortal assassin. That sounds like a great idea. I am down with that.
It was better than being a civilian.
That's true. You get all the inside stuff, when the world's going to come to an end and all that. You get to know up front. That's nice. It's a little warning.
Yeah, so everybody watching this, I'll go ahead and I'll put links to Kim's website and link to that first book, her first book in the Breakoff series, Wild Thing. And I urge you definitely, don't shy away from the first chapter. Read it, get through it, and then it gets really good as you go, that's why.
My sense of humor is incredibly messed up. If you cannot even tell from, you could probably tell from the interview right now.
I'm no better.
It's worth it. There will be a chapter, but it's going to be worth it. Oh, that was a good freeze moment.
That was
nice.
Excellent. Oh, we love the internet.
You get the Skype, and it's always like you're frozen, like something weird, like
always happening. And then you've got so you're also writing the third book in your Children of the Ankh series, Let There Be Dragons.
Yes.
And we were talking earlier before the show, and they're not actual literal dragons?
There are dragons. There are dragons too, off and on. There's mirages of dragons. There's hallucinations of dragons. There's real green scaly dragons. There's purple dragons. There are all kinds of dragons later on. But these dragons in this book is the dragon scales on the cover and stuff or of enlightenment, kind of, are precursors to Let There Be Dragons.
Here, I'll bring that up here. So if everyone can see on the cover here, we've got the scales of dragons behind the Ankh symbol.
I love it.
That's such a good cover. And I like the tagline you have. This is not a fairy tale. This is a nightmare.
It's, enlightenment so far. Okay, Wild Thing was tons of fun to write. Loved writing Wild Thing. But when I finished Enlightenment, I went, holy crap. There's a whole, there's this immortal testing that goes on. There's all this crazy stuff in this book. It's just really visual. It was really, really cool when I got to the end of the book, and I was just like, whoa, wow. I didn't even know I had, I knew I had it in me from the first book. But the second book, I did not know I had that in me. And then when I went to Wild Thing, because I was really trying to fill time in the series, to try and keep side series stuff coming out for the readers before the next book came out, so that I could keep people into the series. And Wild Thing is that I just let my freak flag fly. Seriously.
Very
really
nice.
Oh, I got totally sidetracked. Squirrels. Okay, where were we?
Squirrel?
Squirrel. Where were we in the conversation? You asked me a question, I took that way away.
I should rename the show the Tangent Show.
That's true. Oh, man, the ADHD fairy is a special person.
So how many other books do you have planned for your Children of Ankh series? I know aside from the side projects that you want to do, because you're right now with a publisher that you're really looking at putting out one book a year, I think you mentioned, for the Children of Ankh series, for the official series going through. Yeah. And then you're going to put out your own side stories just to keep the momentum.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm originally what I queried was 6 books in the series. That was the original query. That's what the plan was. So in my head, I kind of had a timeline of what I was doing in each book. But then I really started to think I could keep writing about these people for a really long time. It's totally, I love it. It's entertaining for me. I love it.
You've created a good world and universe
to
play in.
I could keep going. Like, I'm already splitting off into the Lexi series and then the Brothers of Prophecy series from the main series. So I could just keep branching out.
There you go.
I have one from Bring Out Your Dead. Bring Out Your Dead. It's about half done now. And that one is actually about a 13-year-old girl who either is crazy or a necromancer. And I'm leaving that one up in the air.
Oh. So at the end of the story, we're not going to know which?
Yeah. Well, you're really, I haven't decided. Honestly, I haven't gotten to the end. I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided the actual end, what I'm going to do. I have some ideas, but as I go along, I keep altering what I'm going to do. So even when I tell someone I'm going to do something, could totally not be that.
and the best thing about that is with you doing the sense of discovery while you're writing it, the readers are going to be along with you for that sense of discovery, because they're not going to be able to predict the ending, because guess what? You didn't know what it was either.
I didn't even know where I was going with it. I just keep writing it every day. Actually, I'm really bad right now. I'm writing like 4 of them, and I just kind of hop between them. I have the Repopulation Project, which has nothing to do with the series, and that I started writing for a contest. It's like old school sci-fi.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like clones and stuff like that, and spaceships, and that one it's really fun sometimes to take a break and write something completely different. And that was completely different.
So is it light and airy and fun, or is it still just as dark?
A medium dark. The character's a lot younger. Like, the main character starts out, she's 5 years old.
Wow, yeah, because I noticed in your first, or I was reading Wild Thing, and she was like 10 when the story started. I'm like, wow. Because when I first read the first part, I'm like, oh, okay. And then I find out she's 10, and I'm like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, don't strike out on your own when you're 10. No. Too young. My son's 10. He's too young.
My son's 10 too. Oh, you've got a 10-year-old son too. That's cool.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, he can't strike out now. He's not ready.
That's right. No, I don't know.
I'll have to warn him now. Do not accept hot chocolate from strangers.
Oh, never accept hot chocolate.
So viewers, go read Wild Thing. Find out what we're talking about. No.
It's really messed up. I'll start there. But it gets really, really dark, twisty, and funny. Like, really funny. People, like, the reviews made me just grin, because I knew that first chapter was going to mess people up. I knew that was going to happen up front. But the fact that everybody read past it and kept going and loved it. And that was where I went, oh, you know what? I took a chance taking it that dark in the first chapter. But I kind of realized it might be my writing style now. It might be my thing. I've done this with 3 books where I've just right out the gate done something so messed up, it's insane.
It's very shocking, and we're like, oh, yeah.
Like, do the whole back the whole, like, and then right around that main horrific event.
Right.
I think that's kind of where I'm going with things. It seems to happen in each book. And I really don't know, as I said, really what I'm doing before I do it.
But you found your voice.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the series. It's turning out great. People are loving it. I'm happy. I'm doing what I think I'm meant to be doing now. So be great, you know. If I could keep writing, just doing this as my job forever, that'd be wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the dream. The dream.
We all want to do that, though. All authors were like, we just want to just write. That'd be wonderful. Wouldn't it be wonderful if you could just write without all the extra work, too?
That would be so nice. But no, there's book covers, there's editing, there's publishing, there's everything. There's the promotion.
There's 80 jobs you do a day that have nothing to do with the writing. Or they do, but it's not just that beauty of, like, getting lost in your mind.
Right.
That's hard.
Yeah, I try to parse it out to say, okay, for the next 6 weeks, I'm just writing. That's all I'm doing. Get the book done. And then I switch over and I'm a guy. We have to compartmentalize. Mm-hmm. And I switch over and say, okay, now I'm going to do all the post-production stuff and the marketing and the promotion. I can't seem to, I'm working on trying to change me so that I can I'll write in the morning and do the other stuff in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I don't have this big break in between each thing, so that something's always progressing. The next thing is always coming along.
See, I have to actually just pick a book and write it to completion right now is what has to happen. I have to, like, pick one and just put the other ones aside.
Well, you're lucky. You got 4 to choose from right now.
I know, but it's frustrating, because if you write 5,000 words on each book a bloody day, you're not really getting anywhere.
No.
You don't really get anywhere. You're like, slow. It's like jogging, but just like a block in each direction and then coming back. You'll eventually
get somewhere, but you're not.
That's right.
Like, when you hit the finish line, you'll have 4 projects done at once.
This is true.
But I don't know. I still kind of like the idea of, let me just get one project done. Yeah. And that's out there generating interest in who I am while I'm working on the next one.
This is true.
But each one has its benefit.
It's very true. You know what? I think Beautiful Disaster is what I'm going to concentrate on.
So what's Beautiful Disaster? That one's another side story, right?
Yeah, this one's the backstory, the first story in the Brothers of Prophecy series. So it's about, there's the 3 Brothers of Prophecy. Basically, they split up to run the 3 clans of partially immortals. So,
are these clans against each other?
Yes.
Ooh, so we got the brother rivalry spreading out.
But the girl, that of course, because the girl caused it, sort of, the brothers they were all in love with the same girl.
It's always because of a girl.
1,000 years ago, they were in love with the same girl, and they're all still fighting about it.
Just get over it, guys.
They're still upset. But so there's Frost, and he is the leader of Clan Ankh, but he's actually not, because he gave it to his father. He gave up control of the clan. He's not really the guy that wants to be in control. He just kind of wants to do his own thing. But still, for all intents and purposes, when dealing with the higher ups, he's the leader.
Okay.
Tiberius, the youngest brother, is the leader of Clan Triad. And now that's the darkest clan.
That's your bad guys in the clan.
That's bad guys, sort of. Yeah, the bad guys in this series. And then Trinity's sort of your medium ground.
Okay.
Is your medium ground. And Thorn is just, he's the leader, the oldest brother is the leader of Trinity, Clan Trinity. But he is he's a wonderful guy. Like, even though you're fighting him, he's wonderful.
He's got a level head on his shoulders.
That's right. He is a good, decent human being. He's like that person you don't really want to fight, but you have to. Because they're always fighting over, like, the new recruits, right?
Right.
Immortals. Because when you're 16 in the series, when you're 16 years old, okay, so 1,000 years before, immortality became illegal. They were not allowed, the gods were not allowed to create any new immortals by procreating with humans.
Oh.
So they sent out the first correction, and they just went and just killed all, with special weaponry, all of the partially immortal children. Because, the gods lose their status if everybody's immortal, right?
If everybody's immortal, if everyone's special, no one's special.
They do. They lose their status if everyone's immortal. So they basically do this big clean house, and they kill everybody. But eventually, over time, there's rules. Rules are set in place. And then 3 guardians, which are sort of like angels, each is in control of one of the clans, sort of their go-between. And they're not really angels, they're like sort of angels. Yeah, I'd say sort of angels. We'll put there. One's a dark one. Seth is the dark angel. He's in control of Tiberius. He has Tiberius as his head guy. Oh, and I'm stuck now. We're frozen.
Oh, are we frozen? I can still see you just fine.
I was frozen on the screen doing something I was talking with my hands. So down. Doing something weird. Where are we?
Oh, so the dark one is in charge of Tiberius.
Yep. And then do not laugh at me. I haven't chosen the name of who's in charge of Trinity yet. We've done that. We haven't brought him in yet. And Azaria in charge of, and Ankh is that's the clan that everything's based around in the series. So basically, it's from Clan Ankh's point of view. Now, the rules that came into play were that you had to be 16 years old before they were allowed to send in a corrections team to kill you. They kill you and your entire genetic line. So your parents that are home, your siblings.
Wow.
Everybody. Just to make sure that nobody with abilities gets through. Because sometimes it's a genetic thing, right? And it doesn't even have to be that you're actually partially immortal. It can be that you're psychic. It can be that you are like a witch. It can be anything. They do not want anybody with actual abilities getting through. Like telekinesis. So people who, really are not even in the situation or just getting off.
Wow.
But they have to wait till they're 16, because if they wait till they're 16, then they have an opportunity to fight back.
We got to give them a chance.
That's right. Giving them a chance to fight back. So
what does it mean to be partial immortal? Because to me, immortal is like on-off. You live forever, you don't. So what's a partial immortal?
Partially immortal. Well, what they did is they stifled all the immortals so that they need to use these tombs to heal themselves. They can't just heal now. If that's your ability, you can heal you and you can heal your clan. But from the state of death, sure, you'd wake up after, say, a week, but they've stifled their ability to recuperate, to keep control over these clans of immortals that they've allowed to survive because they survived their correction. You survive your correction, you're offered they come back for you again to kill you, or you can choose to be in one of these clans and do like the third tier. Like second tiers are partially immortal. Third tiers in my series are full god.
Very cool.
Stifled. And first tiers are humans. So second tiers, they're stifled. Their abilities have been stifled magically. So they have to heal, and like Clan Ankh has rose quartz tombs, like Egyptian tombs.
Right,
Like a rose quartz stone with a symbol on it. And they always have it on them, but it can just appear if they think about it too. When they survive the testing, then they earn their tombs. So now they can always heal. And they can heal faster if they have the tombs.
That is so inventive. I like that. That is very cool.
Like old Egyptian tombs, but with rose quartz on the inside for healing.
That is so cool. And so Beautiful Disaster is, you were saying, looks at one of the other families.
It looks at Melora Avant. So she ends up in Ankh, but she is the reason why these three brothers in the Brothers of Prophecy series hate each other.
And she's still around after all this time.
Yeah, 1,000 years later. 1,000 years
and still
later.
Available, I take it.
Yes, she's actually still available because she keeps going for humans, and there's like this curse on her. So the second she starts dating a human, he's got 2 months to live.
So, I bet you that's not in her Match.com profile.
No, not that they're going to be murdered or have to be hit by a truck within 2 months if you date me.
Let's have coffee. You'll die in 2 months.
Right. 7 days. She's very, but see, the thing with her is that she secretes this, like her pheromones make it so she's absolutely irresistible.
Oh, no.
So as nobody really has a choice as to whether or not they're attracted. She's beautiful, but she secretes these hormones that take away people's ability to make that choice.
Wow.
Gift. That's her gift. So, and it kind of doesn't work as strong. Like, it's not as strong for her own clan members. So that's if you're in that clan, it's not as strong for those clan members.
You
so
could pretty much say, no, I think I'm good. I kind of want to see how the next season of Once ends.
That's right. Yeah. And Buddy just got hit by a truck, the last boyfriend. You know, I'm not feeling like I'm into taking this trip right now.
After 1,000 years, you're still single? Maybe it's you.
No, well, she sort of spelled to never be able to find it, too. So if she finds love, she's being spelled to not be able to have it.
Ooh.
She made some bad choices. And, you know, the third tiers are a little dark and twisty in how they, you know, dole out their punishment. So we'll put it that way.
I was about to say, you don't like this character.
If you get pregnant in the series, like, and it's very random because they're not supposed to be able to, but if anybody gets pregnant or procreates out of the Immortals, their punishment is like just epically creative and horrific. Like most of the time they do not even let the pregnancy carry, like they entomb them.
Wow.
Like, so, you know, like mummified, entombed. Nasty. Yeah. Beautiful Disaster is really just that base story. I wanted to go back to the beginning and just toss that in there too so people could see really where it started and how it started.
Right, why these three clans are at each other's throats.
That's right. Why are they not all together? And why are they all separate? I mean, tentatively in the future, you never know. Maybe I start moving the clans together a few years down the road. We'll
You have
see.
to bring in some big bad guy that they have to band together to survive.
You know who the big bad is? It's actually the third tier.
Right, the gods. They're that's who's going to be our big bad guy, huh?
It's they control. That's right. They control the third tiers. So, like, you know, like Zeus's of the world, they're the bad guys. They're the guys that are controlling everything else. And there's, you know, they have ulterior motives for what they use Earth for too. And so the Guardians have these three clans. Their job is also to make sure that the humans are taken care of, and that the other like groups of, you know, like say witches or vampires or anything like that. The other groups of, you know, immortals,
right?
That they are kept contained. So their jobs, and they, you know, ghost like in places, like they sort of ghost hunt too. They get rid of spirits who are stuck places, and they, you know, they get rid of demons. They get sent in to get rid of demons. So they have a lot of different jobs, and they travel around in motorhomes. They travel around the country in motorhomes.
Immortal gypsies.
Frost isn't allowed on planes. They do. They all travel around these pimped out motorhomes. They stay in hotels along the way, but they travel around the country. And they could go. They have these little crits, like in the mountainside of British Columbia.
Oh, neat.
And like Arizona, they have that Azarias made for them that have these corridors to other continents.
Because I'm like, if they got RVs, how are they going to get over to Europe?
Yeah, they leave the RV, obviously. Then they leave the RV, end up in India just because it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well, I've got lots of plans for the series, and it'll be interesting to see where it actually goes. Like, I have plans for that. I have the end scene of the entire series.
The final 6th book?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to end at 6.
Oh, okay.
It ends at 6, but
when you're done with this story, you got it.
That's right. I'll know when it's time to put that scene in. When it's time to put that scene in, that's the end of the main series.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then with all your side series, you can just keep going forever.
That's right. I just keep branching it off. They could come back to the main series, It doesn't really have to end.
Yeah, readers love that. They don't want it to end.
I just keep going. I keep going until all of a sudden nobody buys a book. And then I'll be like, well, I guess they're done with me now. Well, now is not the time for me to eat an ice cube, is it?
Oh, maybe not. So let's give you a moment for the ice cube to melt.
Okay, swallowed it. We're all good. Carry on.
Yep, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll post a whole bunch of stuff down below. So anyone who's watching this interview embedded on a website or anything, down in the button over here, there's a thing that says watch on YouTube. And if you click on that, you'll be able to see, I'll put in all the social networking sites so you can connect with Kim. And, I've got, we have Twitter, we have Facebook, she's on Tumblr, Goodreads, and apparently all her characters also have Twitter accounts. I don't have those links yet, but I'm sure you can find them from her website, right?
Yeah, that is way more fun than it should be. Arguing with myself on Twitter as different people and in character is way more fun.
So are you talking to yourself on Twitter now?
Yeah. That isn't it. Well, no, if you're talking as the characters to each other, and insulting each other and stuff. I got the different clans on Twitter, and they insult each other, and they have their little vibe going on. They joke around, everything. I don't have all the characters don't have, not every single one has an account. It just gets way too confusing.
Yeah, that's an awful lot. I have trouble keeping up with my one single account on Twitter.
My main account takes a lot, my main account's got lots of people on it. And the Children of Ankh series account also has lots of people on it. But then I've got a little broken off, book name accounts and stuff, too. So to keep up with all that, you really need to use something like Hootsuite. You seriously do.
Yes. Consolidate all those accounts into one place.
Every once in a while, just so something's going on there sometimes, You don't always sign on to different places, but, there's not always time. Life kind of takes you away sometimes, but people follow me. I'll follow them back.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So check out the links down below for her Twitter account. Follow Kim. Follow Children of Ankh on Twitter. And friend her on Facebook.
Awesome.
So let's talk a little bit about the Repopulation Project, because that one's not done yet, so I couldn't do any research on that to find out what about that. But it sounds interesting. I love sci-fi stuff. I read nothing but sci-fi all through high school. I mean, I did my junior book report on Isaac Asimov's Foundation trilogy, and nobody knew what the heck I was talking about. I love sci-fi stuff. So the Repopulation Project, love the title on that. Is that a title that you came up with?
Yeah.
I love that title.
Well, basically, it's, that whole, it's like the after the Ice Age thing, humanity as a way to get off during the Ice Age. So they get off and they try to get to they find another habitable planet. And they, of course, have the technology at this time to get to this planet, to make it. But in order for that to happen, of course, everyone's in cryo sleep and
they all have ice cubes in their mouth.
That's right. They all have ice cubes in their mouth trying to swallow them on an interview. there's there's also like well, the animals, they obviously, for oxygen purposes, they can't save all the animals and all the people. So basically what they do is a certain amount have been cryogenically frozen. Everybody is now taken in their like embryo state.
Oh, interesting.
Creating embryos. So everybody's in this embryo state, and everybody is clones of certain makes of clones.
Oh.
And enough versions, enough varieties that they can recreate a population. So when they get close, everybody starts to wake up, like they've been programmed to certain people to wake up, scientists and stuff, and to begin this process of getting these first people to the age they need to be to survive on this new planet. But of course, you know, they get to this planet and it's also in an ice age.
Oh. Oh my goodness. I did not see that one coming.
Well, then they have to like, not going to give you the whole story, but then they have to basically retweak these clones, because they need to get these clones to the point where like they need to make it so that they can survive in colder weather. So they, you know, they start playing around with humanity. So the version of humanity that's going to get there is not the version of humanity that was on Earth, because they wouldn't survive. They still have those clones for later on. But the version of humanity that they're bringing is, you know, an amped up kind of, you know, version of humanity that can survive incredibly cold weather, that thrives in it. That does, like, it's a different storyline. It's a really different storyline. I'm really excited about that one. Eventually I'll finish that one too.
Yeah, that sounds cool. You'll have to definitely come back on the show when that one comes out.
Oh yeah, you know what? I love that one's fun to write too.
Yeah, that one sounds good. Well, any one of your stories comes out, you need to come back on the show and promote it.
Sounds good. I totally will.
Absolutely.
It's been fun.
Yeah, so you like to fill in your time with all the other shorter books, and so what is your favorite snack food? What's the one thing you can't say no to?
Honestly, it's nachos. It's probably nachos. I really, there's just something wonderful sitting in the evening, watching a movie, eating nachos. You know, not like nachos, like pimped out nachos, like nachos with like refried beans and that really gross twisty, like the liquid cheese.
You know, that my friend laughs at me because when I want nachos, I want that cheap liquidy cheese like you get at the amusement parks.
That's right.
And that's the nacho. He's all, that's not nacho sauce. He says, that's the nacho sauce you're trying to replicate? I mean, I took a long time finding the two products that when I combine them, I get stadium nacho sauce. It was so hard to find.
These things are important in life.
They are.
That make you happy. Like fun dips. Fun dips. It's like eating sugar with a stick. It's wonderful. It's not good for the waistline. It's not great for your ass. But sorry, I swore on your show.
But it's so good going in. Oh, yes.
Wonderful. You know the whole fun dip, you burn your tongue thing till your tongue's like just on fire from eating like the whatever it is.
You couldn't wait until it cooled down enough because this is nachos.
It's tasty.
So you've got 4 projects going at once. Is that one way that you... because it doesn't sound like you have any kind of writer's block issues. Do you?
Oh, no. I really haven't. I'm just having sticking to one project issues is what I'm having. It's because I'll be writing something, I'll get an idea for something else, and then I'll just switch. And then I'm writing something else, and something will pop into my head for another one, and then I'll just switch. And I realize it's going to take me 10 times longer to finish one. But of course, you know, I don't know. It's working for me so far. It's working for me so far. I haven't experienced writer's block yet.
Yeah, that's one thing that I haven't. As far as I know, it's a myth.
I I think that if you really, I only write when I really want to, though, too. Like I get up in the morning, I sit down and I write, like after I've dropped Cameron off at school, usually. My daughter is older. And
Right.
So I drop, my son off at school. I sit down in front of the computer and I just start plugging away. And I plug away and I set my alarm just in case. I set my alarm for like 2:15. So I make sure I don't forget him at school.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I have to do. If I don't have an alarm on my phone to go off,
Yeah.
he'll be stranded at school going, "Oh, Dad's writing some more."
He's like, Dad's writing today. No, I get there because of the alarm. I get there, but I do that every day. Usually, I get up in the morning. First thing in the morning, I get up super early, like insanely early, and I get on the treadmill and I pre-think while listening to music what I'm going to write. So
Excellent.
I think up love scenes or something, and while I'm listening to music and I kind of autopilot walk. I realize I'm not exercising properly, but
You just need enough to work off the nachos.
that's right. Just the nachos. That's all I need enough to work out.
And it was the cheap.
I'm stuck
It was the
again.
cheap wet nacho
see, I'm
sauce. It
frozen.
wasn't anything bad.
I just need to work off the nachos. That's all. That's it.
There you go.
What's your favorite food?
Me?
Yeah.
I lived off of it. Macaroni and cheese.
Oh,
And not any good
yeah.
stuff. We're talking Kraft macaroni
Yeah,
and cheese
that's
with the powder.
Oh, yeah. That stuff's wonderful.
It's got a flavor that I cannot replicate anywhere else.
This is true.
It is so good.
I'm like a cereal, I eat a lot of fruit, too.
Yeah.
And I really try to eat like 80% green food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I eat a lot of actual salad stuff, but it's always with something fattening. It's never like I just ate my salad and behaved myself for the day. It's like I ate salad and then I had to go get a chicken wrap and then I dumped a pound of hot sauce on it.
Sometimes when you try to focus on only eating the green foods, everybody gets mad because you've picked all the green M&Ms out of the bin.
It's true.
Where's all the green M&Ms? I'm eating green food today.
So where you were, where are you actually?
I'm in the Bay Area near San Francisco.
Cool.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
We're both Pacific time.
We are both Pacific time. We're both coasters.
Oh, that's so weird. Yeah.
Yeah, and I went to British.
Friends.
I went to Vancouver for the 1986 World's Fair.
Cool.
So, and I loved it. That was awesome.
Expo 86.
Yep, Expo 86.
I was there too. Maybe we crossed each other in the crowd.
We probably did. You're the one who ate all my green M&Ms.
I probably did. It was definitely me.
I saved all my cans, the Coke can that had half English, half French, and all my candy bar wrappers. And I saved all those and I had them sitting on my luggage, and the maid for the hotel threw them out.
Oh, no.
Like I was saving those because they were half English, half French. I took French in high school. I remember nothing.
I will send you a Coke can with French on it.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe I can even find your name.
Oh, yeah.
French English Steve can. You can put it on,
There you go.
what's up there?
Yeah.
Stuff. It'll be great.
That'll be excellent. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. So I enjoyed Expo 86. That was good.
I haven't been to San Francisco. My parents have been to San Francisco. Yeah. You said San Francisco, right?
San Francisco is just a bit north of me. People remember San Francisco more than they think of like San Jose. I'm really in the heart of Silicon Valley.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
So I throw a rock that way, I hit Google. I throw a rock that way, I hit Apple. I throw a rock that way, I hit Yahoo. And then they get mad because I'm throwing all these rocks.
I hit a mountain any way I throw rocks, actually. Maybe the water, because we're at the end of the Somas Canal. We're like halfway through the island. There's all these weird stories of what will happen if the fault line goes, right? So either we go up 100 feet.
Oh, right.
But the story really, we're middle of the island. The story seems to be that we're the only place that's okay. How funny. Maybe we get 30 days less sunshine, like, because we're in a valley, right? The dead center of the island. So we get 30 days less than everywhere else on the island.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that because of the angle of the world and the sun stays below the mountains?
Yeah, that's what it's angle of the world. That's what it is. No, it's that where there's like huge mountains around. We're in the big valley. There's bush, like big, giant, massive trees and a forest all around us. And we had a forest fire that was really bad out Sprout Lake this summer. And we actually had air quality warnings because everything gets stuck in the valley.
Oh, yeah. Just boxes it right in.
It was like and the whole place was this creepy orange hue.
Ooh.
Like, it was really, the pictures, you could find them on the internet there, but it was this creepy orange haze over the whole valley and this creepy orange haze in the sky. And it just like the air it felt like we were being poisoned. Like, you go outside, you're like, oh yeah, this is bad. It's like a giant campfire. But like that was bad. That went on for quite a while.
You had to start smoking just to get clean air.
That's right. You put on your air conditioner because it's stiflingly hot. You're pumping the smoke in the house. You just stay indoors for like a few days. The air quality is pretty bad. So you try to follow it a bit, and then, when you're pumping it into the house anyways, the air would it gets so hot in the valley.
Point?
Oh, no, I know. It's winter time now, so it's going to rain probably for like the next 6 months. So that's lovely.
Well, we could really use some rain down here.
We had just rained. We were getting a little freaked out. It didn't, there wasn't enough snow last year. And we our water source relies on the snow coming down the mountains and melting.
Oh, yeah.
So we were a little bit, nervous as it came to summer this year. It was so hot and there was no rain. And we made it through the summer. It's pouring for a few days now.
Oh, good.
Sunny today, though. It's really sunny today. You see the blue sky outside. But we live in a rainforest where we are. So this is why we all stay so perfectly preserved. It's not surgery. It's rainforest.
You're living in the beautiful rainforest of...
Right. Damp weather all the time. Soccer. My son's soccer's starting up. And, you sit outside, play soccer. It goes on all winter.
Oh, in the rain? Or do you have indoor stadiums?
Outdoors in the pouring rain of mud. It's like a Tide commercial. They come home just covered. It's lovely.
But that's part of the experience.
It is. It's part of the, he'll remember these things one day. He'll remember I stood out there in the rain with him. Soaked to the bone. And of course, it's that wet cold. When it's cold and it's wet cold, that is a whole other thing.
Not enjoyable.
Dry cold and wet cold are whole other things. I see, we're way off topic again.
It's the tangent show.
It's true. You could just go. You talk about anything.
All right. Well, is there anything that you would like your readers to know before we wrap up this interview here?
Anything I'd like my readers to know.
Anything. This is an opening for a tangent. I know that we've been staying on topic pretty solid on this one, but this is our opening.
I know. Well, we really were on topic this whole time. Honestly, I just really want you guys to go out and buy the series and read it.
There you go. So I will put the links. So if you're watching this again, embedded in another website, click on the little button over there to the side that says watch on YouTube so that you can get the full description. I'll have the links to Kim's Amazon page where all her books are already there. And Amazon is now doing a new thing where there's a follow button on her author page, and you can click that, and anytime she puts a new book out, you'll be notified by Amazon that it exists.
I totally didn't know about this.
This is a new thing. I don't think they told anybody. I just noticed it.
I didn't even know.
All good stuff. So
learn something new today.
Yeah. So definitely go there to her webpage. You can follow her on her webpage, follow her on Twitter, on Facebook, Tumblr, Goodreads. Go to her website, and definitely on Amazon, click the follow button to find out about her new books as they come out. So Amazon's really doing a good job with that.
Awesome.
But so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the big screen, say goodbye to everyone at the YouTube. So hang on, Kim. We're going to chat a little more after this. But thank you very much for coming and have the spotlight put on you for my YouTube channel.
On me.
Absolutely. So that we were never off topic because this show was all about you.
Oh, well, theoretically, I guess we weren't.
Exactly.
The weather even,
Because the weather's about you, what you're experiencing. So thank you very much for coming, Kim, and go ahead and hang on the line here. I'm going to go ahead and switch over, end the episode, and then we'll get back and we'll just do a little more chatting.
Awesome.
So thank you very much for having you here.
Thank you.
All right, so as you can see here, I can never tell what side anything on. So Wild Thing is her new book, just came out August 7th. It was released, so it's her brand new one. And it is a side series of her Children of the Ankh primary series. The book is right now scheduled to come out about once a year. So we were talking to her, and she says that she's got a plan for at least 6 books for that she signed on with the publisher for. And she's going to be releasing lots of little side ones so that you'll get deeper into the characters that you meet in the Children of the Ankh series. So by all means, pick those up. Take a look down below at all the links and check them out. And thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the ODNT channel. Old Dog New Tricks. Old Dog, that's me. And subscribe so that you find out about other new great, wonderful authors that I'm chatting and talking with, as well as other creators. I'm going to be talking with artists and musicians and book cover artists and game creators and just anybody I can get my hands on that will come on to my show. So thank you very much. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.